Journal entry, 25th of the month of September, in the year of our Lord 1079. Verily I have come far. From his bed, my friend and second, Thibaut, looks at me with pride in his eyes. The boy who dreamt of knights, whom he met on a dusty road all those years ago, now stands with confidence in the courts of kings and eloquently debates the best of his courtiers. Alas, illness racks Thibaut, and I fear he may not be for this world for much longer, but will return to the Lord once his time comes. Seeing what I have accomplished, I feel that yet I lack. There are small evils like a bandit in the night, and large evils like an unjust ruler who oppresses his people. I feel that I can take any bandit in a fight, but yet I still have to become a leader of men in battle, for there are evils in this world that cannot be vanquished by words alone, nay, even by the deeds of one, but require many to take up arms. Such has been the lesson of my travels. Meanwhile, the deadly plague is spreading eastwards through Champagne and is at the borders of the royal city. So we will collect our payment from Duke Baudouin, and from that we can we should probably make our way elsewhere, because while the tent, the barber's tent, has been upgraded, and we do have another. I think there's nothing else that we really need to do here. No, I think it is time to slowly think about building an army, and for that we might actually have to remove the camp perimeter. But we've probably got a few things still to upgrade here. So if we get we can get additional knights from the Roaring Campfire, which is pretty important as well. So let's upgrade that here. We still have to look for capable men, but I am thinking of crossing the channel towards England, because if we are to eventually fight the English and see if we can remove them from the country of France and bring the country back to her former glory, then we may need to understand the English better. So we shall make our way across the waters and see if we can meet this King Robert of England, who has so violently invaded our fatherland here. But before we do that, we'll have a quick look at the castle. See at the local training grounds. I could pay for the Blade Master trade, actually, not really. Anyone in the garrison? Definitely not him, and not him either. 8 prowess, yeah, that's not really. Let's see who's in the tavern. And we're not talking to intriguing hooded figures. Well, it appears to be the mayor of a local area. So we'll see what she has to say in a while. But let's listen to a story, and then we'll see who's up for recruitment. Anybody? Emo, a Dutch giant. He might actually be interesting. He's not. His prowess is decent. He is a bit of an agrarian, though. But he is trusting and brave, so he sounds like a kind of person that we could use. Definitely not her, another antagonist, and she's very old. But Emo, how about you join our camp and become a knight under my command? That brings us will bring us up to 8 out of 10. So a few more knights are good to have. Let's approach the hooded figure and see what things are up to. A Dutch ruffian is going after the mayor. We'll do a stewardship challenge against that ruffian. I could just settle her tab, but I think we have the stewardship to pull this off. So we saved the noblewoman, and she gained some opinion of you. We paid her a favor, so that was good. Let's see what else is up. We do need some supplies at some point. We could move these for you, Franz. Yes, Franz. Franz. Oh my gosh, he's a hideous witch. I can't say I disagree. The poor man. Okay. Anyway, one shall not laugh at the less fortunate. All right, so let's head back, and we're done here. Okay, what we can do, we can have a quick look at the city here of Rosselair, and then we'll move across just to see if there are any weapons for our new knight that we can bring. So let's move the camp over there, and have a look at the local shops for any weapon or armor. And it's unfortunately all rubbish that they had. How about armor? There's another one of the de Villeron mails that, yeah, we might pick that up. And then the de Villeron mail. Yeah, we'll take that. And that is about it. So let's have a quick look at the locals and see if there's anybody up for recruitment who we could use. She's just a lackey, so very generous, content, a bit arrogant though. She is quick on her mind, and she is pretty good in learning. So she might be in the diplomacy. She might be, yeah. That's a lot of money, but Arliken van Brabant. Yeah, we could pick her up. She made a good addition to the team, I think. So that's that. And from then on, we shall make our move towards England and see what that's all about. We could go hunting again, but first we have to give the armor to somebody. So let's see. We've got our knights here. We've got the Radomir. Emo is. He still needs some training, but I think Radomir probably would appreciate. I would appreciate the mail, so let's send it to him, and then he's going to equip that, which brings his prowess up to. So we refresh that. Once he equips it, he'll get his prowess up quite a bit. Right, camp's been moved, and we shall make our way to England. We could go on another hunt at some point, but for now, I have other things on my mind. Before we go, however, the Duke is inviting us to one last banquet. The food at Duke Baudouin's residence in Brugge is excellent, of course, a far cry from the usual rough and ready fare that I'm so used to. I'm very glad you could answer my summons, Baudouin says, gesturing in my direction. I'd like to see if there's anything we can do to help one another. After all, there are certain times that a man of my stature can't quite get as down in the muck as certain jobs require. Some more of this food would be good, or we could get him to pay us a bit of money. I think we're all right on provisions still, so let's take some gold, and he does get a favor on us for that. Nothing we could do to avoid that, but we're making our way across the seas, and we have landed in the foreign lands of England, where we shall go and scout and see what the enemy is all about. We do have a martial perk out of this as well. There are a few things we need to get out of the strategist tree. This is a man-at-arms recruitment cost. There's a fair few stuff on this one's quite interesting. Mercenary contract, gold rewards plus 25. But I am kind of more keen on getting down towards Gallant. Not sure I want to get all of it done. We could do the Never Back Down first and then the Household Guard, but we would have to go all the way. The other one here is the Bellum Justum and the Strategist. Depending on what kind of troops we're actually going to have, well, these are extremely important. So that's important as well. But I think Never Back Down or Courtship. Courtship might not be a bad one. Because we are making our way towards Gallant eventually. I think that's the one we want to stay on. So let's take Courtship for now. Because, Bernard is seeing birth and death, really. We've got Folkhart, the child, and unfortunately our old friend Thibaut is, he is very ill. He is getting on in age, and I don't think he will necessarily be with us for much longer. We can get some more payments. And then we shall see what this famed city of London is all about. So let's see, that ought to be interesting. Londres Castle. And don't think I will need the training grounds, but let's see. Let's see who is in here. No, they're all terrible. Anybody in the tavern? Let's listen to a story from the local lisping woman, I believe. No, stuttering. But do I have stress to get rid of? A little, but we already done this. I could spend 40 stress to increase my martial. That's actually something I might be interested in. So let's do that, and we will work out the stress at some point. Anybody up for recruitment? Who can? She's got good prowess. Unfortunately, she's a bit of a coward. And women are not allowed to fight, so that's no potential there. Let's see if we can get some supplies. We've already tried that, so I think we're done here, unless we would have to pay for them. But let us see what the there's a collect taxes contract, so that might be a good opportunity for us to go around and get to know the lands better. If we can manage to excel at the contract, that gets us some prestige as well. So we'll take it, and we'll travel as a small group towards the Duchess of East Anglia, who is apparently a blind woman. That she is indeed. Small group travels faster. We will go around and can't have any travel options. Okay, that's fine. It's not that far. So we will see. Master Bernard, welcome, cries the mayor as my party and I enter the city. In short order, I'm introduced to the other magnates of the town. Bjornred, Herwild, and Tostig. We are sure that you will agree with us that when we protest this unjust tax, we are but simply city folk, and we have long since given everything we can to the Duchess. Maybe true, maybe not. We'll see soon enough. Let's begin with the first one and inspect his properties. So his quarters as the city's mayor are surprisingly extensive. She leads me to a room that clearly serves conferences of the settlement's most important people, seating me at the head of this table. Okay, so let's look through her financial records, or we could go everything in detail. We could steal it. Okay, I think we're good. So let's see if we can find some evidence in the records. We pore over the notes, receipts, and what witnesses she can scrounge up to short notice relating to her dealings at great length. Doesn't take much effort to prise the truth from her, something that she seems near terminally surprised by. All right, so she did. The Duchess's marshal, she did corrupt some money here. So onwards to Bjornred's properties. Let's see. So we make our way to Sudbury. Most of the local scriveners seem to work for Bjornred in some fashion or another, who keeps a tidy business with his near monopoly on letters in the town. Okay, if we had the money, we'd pay it gladly, but we don't, so we won't. That's sufficient, yes. Well, we can go again through his financial records, or we could go over everything in detail. That has the greater chance, so let's try that. We talk for what feels like the better part of the day, discussing every conceivable aspect of his business in Sudbury. No stone left unturned, no question unasked. It doesn't take too much effort to prise the truth. He, as well, has been hiding things. All right, Herwild, next up. His business revolves around storing and procuring food, both exotic and bulk fare. Commoners get cheap cereals in times of need. The local elite have someone to go to for fashionable foods from the distant capital. Financial records, or go through everything in detail. We'll do the details again. And once again, we find evidence of wrongdoing. So Tostig is the last one. And let's see what he's got. A spot of luxury, Tostig runs a thriving bathhouse within Sudbury's walls. Okay. Financial records. Okay, that's We could take them. We don't want to take his provisions. We'll have a go at his financial records, but he seems to be the most conniving of the group. So our let's see, yeah, he's got pretty good stewardship, and intrigue. Obviously, his intrigue is terrible, but so is ours. So we're not getting anywhere. Unfortunately, the financial records are going to have to make do. We pour over Tostig's notes, receipts, and we find, once again, evidence. I have made my decision. All right, we've got 4 pieces of evidence. You shall pay in full, because you all have been corrupting money and keeping it to the side from the Duchess's dues. So you shall pay in full, and we have excelled at our contract, with my investigations having been undeniably thorough. Neither the mayor nor any of her lackeys can dispute the results, even if those results entirely favor what the Duchess would find convenient enough to throw in a bonus. She will be pleased. They are all very angry with us, of course, now, but we have gained 225 prestige, and we have refilled our provisions. So we're making our way back to the capital, but as we sit by the campfire after a long day, a group of travelers approaches us in the dark. They look like a gaggle of lost pilgrims, led by a haggard-looking man. Despite my first impressions, I notice they are all carrying valuables of some kind or another. Please, my lord, can we be allowed to rest by your campfire? We have been through a long journey. Okay, of course you shall. Enjoy a campfire and tell us of your troubles. That's why we're here, after all, to see what the land is all about. Can we get money from anybody? Not really. Okay, so let's travel around the lands and see what else we can learn. In a tavern in London, we have met Jourdain de Petre, a fellow Frenchman, in these lands, who is a brave, generous and patient man, but a brilliant strategist as well, and most certainly a somewhat skilled knight and as well leader. So we shall recruit him, of course, and he is of the House of Petra, with the interesting motto of "Rile not the boar," despite his heraldry looking suspiciously English to me. He is, of course, very expensive, but we will ask him to join our camp, and I think with that we are done here and we can make our way around the countryside. But before we leave, Aliken, who has been traveling with us, and Emo, the 2 Dutch, I have hit it off and have asked me to approve of their holy matrimony. An odd couple for sure. She's a lot larger than her, but she's very much in favor of her very own Dutch giant. So we have yet another couple in our midst, and then we will proceed from here. We will be traveling to Chester, but in the meantime, we'll be picking up. We'll be visiting all sites of potential interest along the road, with the Forest of Gloucester being probably the most dangerous of them. But I think we'll pick it up regardless, since we are here, and then we'll be making our way along the old battlefields towards Chester to see what we can learn about the English. And thus we begin moving through the wintry countryside at great speed, and we have come across a wandering knight. As we walk through the streets of Warwickshire, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls, with 2 men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and talked them down. "See, it will be fine," he tells the man in the stall with a smile and hands him a coin. And with that simple act of kind generosity, everything returns to normalcy. He turns to us as we approach, no banner or mark telling me of any liege lord, perhaps a wandering knight. Edwig of Exeter. He is just and humble, and I think he would fit in very well with us. So we will we'll hire him as part. As he reminds me of a younger Richard the Brave. So we shall hire him as part of our entourage as our knight. There we go. And we have visited the Forest of Dean mining settlement. That was the first on our journey, and a few other along the dike. And we have made it all the way to Chester. All right, there we go. To Chester, to the earldom of Cheshire in the Castle of Chester. But given that we are pretty much undercover in the country of England and we are just here to learn about the enemy, I think we will be returning slowly towards the continent, because there aren't many things we can get here in terms of contracts. We could attempt to pick up a few more. I think there are a few more spaces, or a few more places we can visit as we go, and maybe even all the way up to the Kingdom of Scotland before we make our way back towards the French coast. Especially that the plague has not really retreated much yet, and is still threatening Versailles and Paris herself. And once again it's winter, and once again we are making our moves through the countryside. Farah has been given the nickname of Farah the Brave. We have visited the walls of York, and we're now making our way into the more dangerous territory in the northern lands. We'll see what goes on. And visited the Hadrian's Wall as well. Meanwhile, as we prepare to set off in the morning, I see Richard stand outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to him, I notice a change in the wind. I huddle my clothes around myself as a gust of cold wind hits my back and see the first signs of snow. Well, I would call that a bit more than first signs. The cold whispers that it is time for winter yet again. We'll lose some stress. But ditch! I hear Richard shout out in a panic. Soon thereafter I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of old wood breaking or my patience finally snapping. I step out on the grass to see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. He fell asleep on the reins. All right, I am strong of body and will lift it up. Richard is my friend after all. Such things are not much between friends. All right, visited more, and the massive chopping block in the middle of a logging camp of Bernicia has seen much use. It looks like it's always been there, even before man walked this earth. My shoulders are tense and my forearm trembles slightly from built-up stress as I approach the magnificent wooden trunk. I carefully place a piece of discarded timber on the podium, and in one swift motion I raise my axe. So I could cut myself, or I could get sore muscles for 5 years. No, I think I'm going to take the stress here, because that's really just not worth it. The chances, despite the fact that this is a prowess challenge, and I've got 61 prowess, the chance of cutting off my hand. No, we're not doing that. So, nope. Shall not be chopping wood with these odds. And as we trek through Dunbar, our caravan has stopped at a clearing bordered by leafy bushes. I proceed towards the commotion, only to find Chichek and Jeanne having an irate row. Okay, so they're both commoners, so calling each other vile commoner is really... let's see if we can get them to make amends. And yeah, we've convinced them to settle their differences. And apparently the lands of Scotland are relatively warlike. So we make our way through the siege and into... but we can't actually get to the castle because it is currently under siege. We do have gained some good insights, but I think these are pretty violent lands. And for that, I believe we probably should be vacating them relatively soon. How's the plague happening? It's still active. So far, 10 people have died. It is a minor plague. However, still don't really see a good reason to move any further south at this point in time. That said, the King Haraldsson of Sudriar is offering a contract. He doesn't pay an awful lot, but we could gain a lot of prestige. He is looking for foreigners, to bring probably some interesting stories. So this could get us over the line towards exalted among men, and I think that would probably be a relatively good opportunity. So since the plague is still ravaging the lands of northern France, we may actually head there, and then maybe we'll go through the Irish Isles or just across the sea back south home. So that is an opportunity that we probably want to pick up. So let's move our camp there and see if we can find a safe passage actually. To make our way to Il. I am not entirely certain how that's pronounced, but we'll get there. And thus we travel once more through the war-ravaged lands here of northern Scotland, and now make our way across and have safely arrived in the barony, which is a castle holding, so we can actually, before we do anything else, have a quick look at the castle. And see if anybody here would be willing to join. He's pretty good. Mudan, I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but 19 prowess, and he's brave and compassionate. Yes, absolutely. And interestingly enough, the other one's more expensive to hire. He is a faithful blade. He is Catholic. He shall join our camp. All right, and have a quick look at the tavern and see if there's anything we can pick up, or anybody we can pick up. Oh, she's pretty good as well. Generous, just, and stubborn, but she's very good at stewardship. However, she prefers the company of women, so probably no marriage for her. And we have another giant at our hands, but he is vindictive. So I think probably she might be good for any kind of stewardship challenges. But let's see how much she wants. 135. Yeah, given that, we'll hire her. She fits right in the camp. All right. We might need a bit of supplies, to be honest. See if we can convince the local tradeswoman to part with some of it. She does, so back we go. And then we can take on this contract and see if we get a lot of prestige out of this if we can make this happen. Petty King Gudrod is a lonely man in a position of power, making it perversely hard for him to meet people who don't want anything from him. My company is supposed to be different, a chance to make an actual connection. It's not, of course. I want just as much or more than any other hanger-on, but it's a nice fantasy to believe for a while. My followers and I will be gone before he suspects anything. So we shall have it's a diplomacy challenge. So we could probably get we'll go with a balanced range, and we'll see who we can get in. Definitely, usually I think from last time, the last two positions are the ones that are most important for the time. So those we are going to be prioritizing. However, hang on, we could. We've got Enguerrand, Chichek, or Alekin. Or we could, that's a 5-point difference here. So, Enguerrand is definitely more important here, and then we can get Chichek in here. Thibaut, Thibaut's gotten better. Well, thank you, Sophie. She has managed to heal him after all. So it's good to have Brother Thibaut around for just a little bit longer. And we'll see who we can. We'll see how well we can execute the whole thing. Can get up to 88%, but it's not taking too long. So we shall be entertaining the local king and making the best of our time in the barony of Il. Meanwhile, the roaring campfire has been completed. And I think it's time that we are going to get rid of the camp perimeter and start building the this has served us well, but we'll need a bit more money, to be honest, though. But we'll have to build up our forces still. Okay, we'll leave it on so we can still manage make money while we're traveling. But I think possibly the last. Oh, this would be a lot of money. This would be an additional men of arms regiment. So this is definitely something we need. All right, we'll upgrade it to level 4. We may as well, and we will be earning hopefully some from our job at with the local ruler. There are always those at court with more sway than others, and Petty King Gudrud's halls are no different. Some people stride through the corridors, some scuttle to get out of the way. If I really want to make an impression, it couldn't hurt to get one of the local social elite on my side, but who to choose? So we've got Gudröder of Röst or Bishop Eirik here. Let's see. We have a much better challenge with much better chance with the marshal, given that how impressed he is going to be by our skill with the blade. So cut an impressive figure that has hopefully sped things up a little bit. There's no guarantee that Petty King Gudrud will ultimately even end up giving me the gifts I crave, no matter how well I simper at his feet. It's clear that I must act, applying all the pressure I can acquire to loan in advance. Then, if he graces me further, I'm laughing, and if not, my efforts are recompensed. So, we can get a donation out of him with a diplomacy challenge, or we could play it safe and he gains some opinion of us. 85% for 112 gold, I'll take that. And we did get a donation out of him, so that's been successful. And now we just have to wait until we have enough progress that we can attempt to execute. Impressing Petty King Gudrud feels like a full season's work sometimes. Despite being hardly the world's greatest noble, he has very curious notions about the standards other people should be held to. In situations like these, the safest thing to do is likely to fall back on what I'm best at, to pick something I do well and let my skills shine. Although for someone as oft erratic as Gudrud, I could also try to triumph at something thought to be less my bailiwick. My prowess with the blade speaks for itself, and definitely not an intrigue challenge. 97%. We are suitably impressive. We have gained 225 prestige, and that we are almost there. But the local culture is unfamiliar to me. Some of their customs are equally alien. This is proven especially true when Farah, acting as our cook for the evening, beckons me over to look at a stewing pot. It's an authentically Gaelic recipe. Is that stewed rabbit with onions? Yes. Look, I'm French, all right? and we're technically in Britain, blended with herbs from the French cuisine. That gets us extended culinary horizons, which is great. And everybody gets new tastes for 10 years. Yes, please. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, we're quite close, but not there yet. So definitely going to hold up for another 20 days and see. We've got a hook that's about to expire, but nothing to be done about it. We'll get one more. We'll get one more upgrade here, and then we'll execute. But a new martial lifestyle is done. We do need to get through these eventually, but. I also do want to get into these. I do want to start unlocking these in the strategist. And here there are some really important ones. I think once we are working as men at arms, but depending on for how long we'll be doing that. But we also do want to get through. Want to get through these as well. I think promising prospects. We'll take this one, and then once we actually have some men-at-arms, we can go into the strategist. That's what we take for now, and we are 6 days away from the next phase, and I think that's good enough. So let's seize the moment. And the king fell for my charms, for the song of the wilds and the romantic life of a traveling wanderer, just as I knew he would. At last we make our preparations to leave, Gudred sad to see us leave, but glad for the small reprieve our company gave him. Of course, it's not all one-sided. I've earned us a rich payment in gifts and supplies for the company, more than enough to justify our time spent tarrying here. Yes, with that, we have reached exalted among men, and I think that means with a last look, can make requests of him, but not ask him for money. After the last look at the castle, we can change to the Swords for Hire camp purpose, and then we shall become the Knight of the Swan. So I think we'll do that, and then with that I'll end the episode. And we will make our way back to... Oh my gosh, the plague is spreading in France. Oh, there's another plague. Oh dear, yeah. Plagues are spreading in France, but it looks like the northwestern lands have come under control. So I think it's time that we made our way back to the court of King Philippe with our new renown and start building up some troops and see if we can be of service in reconquering the lands from England. But first of all, we shall change the camp purpose, and with that we go Swords for Hire. That gives you 8 knights and a fair few things, but that'll be it for now. And with that, we can now we have too few knights. Yes, I get that. We can now take the Knight of the Swan decision. A mysterious knight comes in a swan-driven boat to rescue those in danger, and this has been the major life goal of Bernard. So that he will, right now he's Captain Bernard of the Lion de Beauvais, and with this the most noble of his kind, Thibault's voice, and Thibault still gets to see it. He is really, really old, but he still gets to see it. I have been looking everywhere for you. They are telling senseless stories about you in the camp, he lets out a chuckle. They say that you once crossed a bridge made of swords, and that you entered an enchanted forest where you rescued a fair woman, that a marvelous swan gave you his miraculous coat. He signals a servant to bring over a pearled armor, a gift from all those that you have helped. And I still have not helped enough. We can become... Alright, so let's see. We can become the Valiant Knight, which we do get the trait Knight Errant, which gives us additional knights as well. And we get the Swan Song trait for the House of Villeron. Alright, or we could increase our success in rooms. We could get Courteous Knight, and we do get Golden Coat of the Swan armor in both cases, but this goes against our justness. So while I am interested in that, yeah, definitely not that way. But no, we are going to become a Valiant Knight, and as such, I still have not helped enough. We gained the Knight Errant trait, and we have received the Golden Coat of the Swan, which actually has a relatively low prowess upgrade. So this is actually less prowess than my other one, but it does. It is a it does give 6% knight effectiveness, and it is an illustrious armor that we shall be wearing with pride. So with that, despite the fact that it's not quite all that good, which means we can give the other armor to one of my knights. Radomir, I think, already has... Yeah, he's already got the De Villeron mail. Richard the Brave. He doesn't have any artifacts, so we will give him We will gift him the de Villeron scale armor, and with that he will be wearing my old armor with pride. We've got 22 knights, which also means we are probably going to, we'll be building up some income on our way to France, but it is now time. It is now time to start gathering some troops and to see if we can defeat some of the larger evils. However, we might have to go somewhere else first while France is as we gather troops, while France is once again ravaged by plagues.